Hardest part easily about trying to record this video is how do I start it. But, with that being said, welcome to my breakdown and predictions video on UFC Vegas 472, Manel Kape versus... First fight on the prelims, Montana De La Rosa versus Luana Carolina. This fight sucks. Could not find anything on it. I tried really hard. Luana's the favorite. I'm gonna go with Luana. Fuck it. Second fight on the prelims, Charles Johnson versus Ramazan Tamirov. I'm actually really excited for this fight. Charles Johnson is a pretty good striker. He has a knockout win over Joshua Van. People are really excited about Joshua Van right now. Ramazan Tamirov is making his debut. He has absolutely zero highlights on ESPN, but it's okay. I was able to ponder my orb well enough and actually find footage of this monster fighting. And he sucks. He's actually really bad. No, this fight should be pretty good. Ramazan does throw pretty wildly, and Charles Johnson is a pretty clean technical striker. So I'm expecting Charles Johnson to get the finish, honestly. We all know it's MMA, though, and garbage people win all the time. Dricus du Plessis is literally champion right now, and he has went on record multiple times to say that he's bad and he doesn't know how to fight. So, whatever. But I'm picking Charles Johnson. I'm throwing my neck out there. Third fight on the prelims, Danny Silva versus Lucas Almeida. Lucas Almeida got knocked out by Andre Fili. Do you understand how bad that is? Andre Fili hasn't won probably since he knocked out Lucas Almeida. I'm not going to fact check that because I don't have to. It's my YouTube channel. But he's not that good. And I'm a fan of Andre Touchy Fili, the pedophilia of the UFC. I love monikers. I love the nickname Touchy. I really wanted Andre Fili to be good, but he's just not. On the other side of this fight, Danny Silva, he's only 9-1. He's way more active, statistically speaking. Like, he throws more punches, lands more strikes, more takedowns, more submission attempts. He's way more active than Lucas Almeida. So I'm going with Danny Silva via kind of whatever he wants. He could submit him, he could knock him out, he could do literally whatever. Danny Silva's definitely going to win this. His next fight, Garbage Time Part 2. The only relevant thing about this fight is that both of these women beat De La Rosa from the first fight on the card. I don't know, JJ Aldrich. I don't care. She's the favorite. We'll go with her. Next fight, Douglas Silva de Andrade versus John Castaneda. John Castaneda is a huge favorite. Second biggest favorite on the card, I believe. Also not fact-checking that. Also don't care. Douglas Silva de Andrade has had significantly more experience at a significantly higher level of competition. He's fought Said Nurmagomedov, he's fought Lerone Murphy, he's fought Petr Yan, he's fought Rob Font. Lost to literally every single one of those people that I named. Did beat Renan Barão, the last person to do that in the UFC. Also beat Chito Vera, but it doesn't take a lot to beat Chito Vera. John Castaneda on the other side. His biggest test is the GOAT Eddie Wineland, when he passed with flying colors. So just that win alone really gives me enough confidence to go with the John Castaneda pick. No, I mean, John Castaneda's 33, Andrade is 39. It's approaching Unk status, man. Get out of the division. I don't know what you're still doing here at 135. Crazy. Castaneda's probably going to win. Looks like food. I've really never heard of this guy, though. Next fight, Ricardo Ramos versus Cheap Mariscal. Also don't know who this is. Ramos lost to both Juicy J, Julian Erosa, and Charles Jourdain. And I get it. Goats of the sport, right? But can't go around losing. Cheap, on the other hand, is unbeaten in the UFC. So, what does that tell you? He hasn't ran into goats like Juicy J on the mic. I don't know, I'm going with Cheap, Sheep, Chop, whatever, however you pronounce this guy. And that's the last fight on the prelims. Starting the main card, Alan Nascimento doesn't have an opponent. I don't know why ESPN is showing me this guy, but since I had to waste time looking at him, you guys have to waste time hearing about him. Does he win? Does he lose? Let's find out. First real fight on the main card, Danny Barlow versus Sam Patterson. Danny Barlow's nickname is Left Hand to God, all capitals, 2 is the number 2. I kind of really want to pick him just based off that, I'm not even going to lie. With that being said, though, Sam Patterson's more experienced, has better grappling, faced way better competition. I think he's going to win. He is the underdog here, Sam Patterson is, but I don't give a fuck. I think Sam Patterson's going to win. Next fight, Haider Amil versus William Gomi. Haider Amil is undefeated, and William Gomi is unbeaten in the UFC. So this is also kind of a spicy fight, I'm not going to lie. Gomi has height and reach advantage. Amil has higher output. Probably going to go with Haider Amil for the finish. He has more finishes. He just seems like the better, well-rounded fighter than William Gomi. Gomi does train at the same gym as Cyril Gane, so that means he probably has absolutely no clue how to grapple. That's another thing to look for in this fight. Austin Lane versus Mario Pinto. Austin Lane is garbage. Austin Lane is so bad that I have actually followed him for his entire UFC career, and every fight he's had, I go, oh, who's this Austin Lane guy? I forget about him every time. He is dog water. He is absolutely terrible. Did beat that one tall Taekwondo guy, though, whatever his name was, Despain, something like that. Pinto had a squash match on Dana White's Contender Series. Did show that he has a basic understanding of MMA, though, which will get you quite far in the heavyweight division. So I'm going to go with Mario Pinto, but heavyweight sucks. Heavyweight's impossible to pick. Literally the worst weight class in the UFC. I don't know why people watch this. So if I'm going to be wrong about any fight, I am totally fine with Austin Lane knocking out Mario Pinto. This next fight is actually the fight that I'm most excited about. Nasrat Haqparast. I always forget how to pronounce this guy's name. It's so stupid. Versus Esteban Ribovics. This fight should be a banger. Nasrat is a certified gatekeeper, but he's not even 30 years old yet. He's been around for over a decade. Esteban needs to win if he's actually any type of good in the UFC. Like, this is really okay. This fight is Nasrat, who is very much running out of prospect status. He is very, very, very much on the verge of, so he was never really that good. And then Esteban needs to prove that he actually is that good after his banger back at UFC Noche. So this fight means a lot for both people. Esteban KO'd that pussy Terrence McKinney, but that also doesn't really mean that much. So this fight is really proving if either person is good, and whoever loses, this is a real fraud checking happening. But I'm picking Nasrat. He's got way more experience. I think if he can keep the fight calm and work his little magic, he can beat this easily. Esteban Ribovics, he kind of lost to Zell Huber, man. Like, that fight was a banger, but I'm like Henry Cejudo maxing. That was crazy. That fight was really good, but it didn't show me that he's some sort of new GOAT in the MMA world. You know what I mean? It didn't show me that he's the future to any capacity. I definitely think Nasrat can beat him. Whatever, moving on. Cody Brundage versus Julian Marquez. Julian Marquez, his nickname is the Cuban Missile Crisis. Do you understand how just ridiculous that is? I almost said a way worse word, but you understand how foolish of a nickname that is? It's awesome. Fumbled Miley Cyrus. I don't know if you guys remember that, but he definitely almost smashed Miley Cyrus, but he got way too cocky with the whole thing, so that's a huge point deduction on his entire fight career. Last win was against Sam Alvey. Sam Alvey, by the way, has the record for most consecutive losses in the UFC, so it's not a good win. Garbage co-main event. This is easily one of, if not the worst fight on the whole card. Cody Brundage's biggest W is losing to Bo Nickel. He has no relevancy in the sport whatsoever, even less so than Homie, who's the only reason I remember Julian Marquez is because he didn't have sex with Miley Cyrus, and the only reason I know who Cody Brundage is because he lost to Bo Nickel. Isn't that, like, what does that say about this co-main event? That being said, I'm picking Cody Brundage via MMA math because he beat Zachary Reese and Zachary Reese beat Marquez. I know that's not how it works. Moving on to the main event, Manel Kape versus Asu Almabayev. I've never heard of this guy. I'm going to be 100% real. Manel Kape did knock out Kaya Sakura, though, and that is quite impressive. He did that over in Ryzen, where Kaya Sakura comes from. I'm picking Manel Kape by racial slur. I think he's going to come out and call Asu some sort of a Mongol or something like that. I don't know. He'll call him some sort of either racial slur or homophobic slur or something. That's what Manel Kape is known for. But, well, yeah, that's my first breakdown prediction video. Hopefully I do a lot more of these. Hopefully the next one is way easier. I'm actually going to care about the next card when Alex Pereira fights Almabayev and other fights happen. Dan Hooker versus Justin Gaethje is no longer on that card, so that's actually very upsetting. But I'll do more research. I'll figure it out. I'll write a better script. Next video will be better.